2K Sports. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. DA, it's all yours.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul George has shown over the years that he remains one of the most versatile stars in the league. He said, "I pride myself on being effective on both ends. I try to do it all, play the right way, and just get lost in the game. I'll do everything I can to win." And guys, there's still not much he can't do with his combination of size and athleticism.
David, he clearly is a special talent, and his resume shows it. Thank you. And here we can check out the story for Robert Covington.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage, and it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Post tandem for him, Morris and Zubats. And it's Batum in at the 3, the small forward. And for Minnesota, they've got Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell out there with Patrick Beverley. Then there's Edwards. And it's Vanderbilt in at the 4 slot. And Greg, as we near the end of the regular season, some call these the dog days of the year. Winning teams ready for the playoffs, and the lottery teams sometimes ready to call it a day.
Well, a lot of teams still have something to play for, whether it's fighting to make the playoffs or seeding. These games do count.
And that one's good, George.
That's what we call playing big. Paul George imposing his will in the paint.
Towns sets the pick for Russell to the paint. Towns against Zubac. And it's Towns missing. On the wing, Batum. Edwards defending. A fader. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Now the Timberwolves with it. Here he goes. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And George, here we go. Gets it to fall from the right block. George has got his second basket of the night.
Paul George is very difficult to contain on a dribble drive. He's got length, handle, and size. Good luck.
Here's Russell. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
George. Dishes it to Jackson. To the inside. Zubats with the screen for George. Just 4 to shoot. The 3. He's now 2 for 3 with that miss. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Doris, we know that Anthony Edwards has given numerous head-turning quotes, but that's just who he is.
That's right. One of the most candid players in the league. Caught some media off guard when he said he saw himself as a football player. But this guy's got big-time personality.
Back to Batum. From outside the arc. Here's Zubats. Lays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
And to me, this is a common theme that's running through the league right now. Guys looking to leak out rather than box out.
Now, here is Russell. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game. Beverly against George. Russell fires away from way outside. Off target from outside.
Boy, the offensive flow just isn't there right now. 1 for 5 to start the game.
And that one's good, George. Timberwolves trail by 6. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Jackson against Russell. 14 feet away. Rebound by the Clippers. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
Well, if they want to avoid the outcome of that first meeting, they'll need to be stronger on the glass. They were completely outmatched in the last one.
Well, you have to believe the coaching staff made that a point of emphasis. Better aggressiveness, better intensity on the backboards.
And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Defense doesn't get much better than the mobile one block we just saw on replay.
And right out of the gate, trying to set the tone defensively, you gotta love that energy.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Okogie comes in for Vanderbilt. And it's Malik Beasley in for Patrick Beverly. Reid finds Beasley. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Edwards, that's good.
Well, don't think twice. Ball touches your hands, you let it go, Anthony Edwards.
Clippers leading by 3. Powell, the pass to Mann. Powell with a screen on Russell. And he lobs it up toward the rim, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. With 1 game to go, let's take a look at how the final seeding will look out west. You look at Minnesota. They're in 7th and looking to hold on to that seed for the playoffs. And, of course, there's Los Angeles right on their heels as they've got the next best record.
And when you look at Minnesota, they haven't had the great season that some were expecting, but it hasn't been a disaster. They just need a few things to go right for them down the stretch.
It's an amazing thing. If you can get a couple of wins, generate some momentum, you've got to believe they'll be just fine.
And here is Los Angeles now. Anthony Edwards unable to get his last shot to go in. Coffee passes to Mann. Covington a screen on Russell. Here's Mann. He's guarded by Russell. Driving to the basket. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot. Greg frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
Powell against Beasley. Powell, the pass to Mann. Over Russell. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. The Clippers on top. They lead by 3. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
So it's the Timberwolves now. They trail by 3. Malik Beasley out there with Patrick Beverly. Then there's Towns, and it's Taurean Prince, and it's McDaniels at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Batum attacking, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing, and his defense always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
The Clippers shooting their first free throws of the evening.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
Free throw good, Nicholas Batum. There might be more talent at the point guard position now, Greg, than there's ever been in the NBA. But who do you think sits at the top of that list?
I mean, Kevin, there's so many incredible talents, and not that I'm dodging it, but honestly, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It depends on what kind of tickles your fancy in terms of the point guard. If it's the ability to shoot and play without it, Steph's at the top of your league list, but then you get a guy like Chris Paul, who I think is as good as anybody's ever been in the pick and roll. So they're just different ways to approach this thing. And, of course, now I've forgotten 4 or 5 guys that I should have added into this conversation.
They get it back. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Timberwolves. It's a 5-point game. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
Yeah, they took advantage of some porous defense in that one. Really got the shots they wanted.
Give them some credit. I'll tell you this. They caught an opponent on a very off night defensively, and you take advantage. Simple as that.
Los Angeles leading by 5.
And Towns not known for his rim protection, but he's improved in that area recently, challenging and changing more shots.
Now here's Beverly. Robert Covington unable to get his last shot to go. Now here's Beverly. His last outing, he had 8 points. Towns sets the pick for Beverly. Just 5 on the clock. Prince misses. And with Towns, Greg, you knew he had the potential for rim defense, and it became a focus for him.
Yeah, and a lot of defense is putting in the effort. Credit Towns for improving in that area, and we'll see if he can take another step defensively.
Minnesota with the ball after the basket by Los Angeles. Prince's shot is good.
It's hard to make your way in today's NBA without being a tremendous three-point shooter. Taurean Prince doing work from beyond the arc.
Now here's Powell. Against Phoenix, he was really on his game. Outside, Batum. Powell kicks to Batum. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. And the basket by Jackson.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Now here's Beasley. 11 points for him in that last game against San Antonio. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 4 points with the basket from Prince. Beasley against Powell. Towns with the steal. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, mid-range jumpers are something of a lost art these days. They're still practiced by superstars like Kawhi Leonard. Coach Ty Lue said, why not work on the shots that teams are giving up? Down the stretch, mid-range shots win games. Playoffs, too. If you shoot it at a high clip, it's just as good as a 3 for me. Guys?
And they do shoot it at a good clip, and they rely on it quite a bit. David, thank you. Now here's Prince. Norman Powell unable to get his last shot to go. Prince with it. Powell, Covington defended. And Robert Covington picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. A new lineup here for the Timberwolves.
And checking out some numbers for Paul George. Since the All-Star break, he has been superb, averaging about 22 points per and 5 assists. He's been nothing short of fantastic during that stretch. Offense coming very easily for him.
And so much of it, to me, is his ability to read the floor, make the right decision, and then go right after the action he wants.
1:24 left in the first half. Fires the 3. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
For three, Okogie. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Boy, this guy's such an instinctive passer. D'Angelo Russell could average double-digit assists if he wanted to.
Now, here's Kennard. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game.
Looking now at some numbers for Zubac. He's really producing here second half of the season. 14th in rebounding, 15th in blocks. And not many players convert opportunities inside as well as he. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
And you mentioned how powerful he is on the boards, going full throttle at both ends every play. Really helping his team compete for wins. That one drops. He ties it up.
You think back to Josh Okogie's rookie season. This guy stepped up and became a starter. He's proven always ready for the next big challenge.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. For the Los Angeles Clippers, they come in off a good outing against the Suns.
You don't like to count on points from your reserves, but they had some hot hands coming off the bench.
When you get that kind of a complete effort, that's a game you're going to win far more often than not. That is Paul George, the incredible vertical and the unbelievable creativity.
Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Russell dishes to Edwards. Out to Russell. Driving the lane. Pass to Reed. And the rejection by Zubac. And he recovers it. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Boy, not sure what happened on that one. Just an unforced error.
Outside, George. Launches it. No good on the last second attempt there.
Well, this guy worked so hard. Josh Okogie always looking to contest shots. That is beautiful defense.
And some good action through the first two quarters as we reach halftime. Clippers lead by 1.
Halftime show coming at you. Paul George has been electric here so far.
The man is dominating down low. That remind you of someone, fellas? I'll wait. Anyway, he's taking high percentage shots. That leads to high point totals. Does that remind you of anybody, fellas? I'll wait. And again, he's in full control of the interior right now. Awesome to watch. Does that remind you of anybody, fellas? I'll wait.
All right, now we can take a quick look here at the upcoming schedule and what the matchups will be.
And looking at the Kings matchup, going into this one as a slight favorite, I think some of the individual matchups favor them, but you win as a team. And if you rely too heavily on hero ball, all bets are off.
That's going to do it for us here at the half. Shaq, any last thoughts?
Well, Ernie, I'm thinking about a nap.
Man, that's the only thing you ever think about, man. Come on, big fella.
Well, always smart to keep a good work-sleep balance, I've always said. Shaq, work, sleep, a little of both. Work, sleep.
Unsullied since 1989. What? What'd you say?
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, the guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Post tandem for him, Morris and Zubac. And it's Batum in at the small forward spot.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. But boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
And a guy like Nick Batum, all but written off, he went through a rebirth after joining the successful Clippers.
Right, you think about Nick Batum, he had to deal with so many injuries. You forget how complete a player he is when healthy. He showed just how important he can be for an elite team.
Now, here's Batum. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Beverly with the ball. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Jackson passes to George. Second half just getting started, about a minute played. Here's Zubac, hits the jump hook. Zubac has got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Clippers.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
There's the pass to Russell. Back to Beverly. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the rejection by Zubac. Outside Jackson. It's George on the wing. Going inside. The shot missing. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Batum against Beverly. And Batum kicks to Jackson. Edwards against George. No good from 11 feet. Timberwolves trail by 3. Beverly the pass to Russell. Towns the screen. Russell finds Towns. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, the very definition of a modern NBA big. You've got to shoot with range. Karl Anthony Towns, yes, sir.
Now, here's George. 8 points for him. Unable to get that one. Great D that time from Edwards.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Lobbed up there for Edwards. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Anthony Edwards showing you, yes, I am a vertical threat at the rim.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And Russell, a player known for his offense, but Greg, he's put in work to improve his play on defense as well.
Yeah, you know, Russell was known for his lack of defense there for a while, but he's been trying to improve that part of his game. It's a long road, but I tell you what, he is definitely taking steps.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. McDaniels comes in for Vanderbilt. Okogie's checked in for Edwards. And it's Beasley in for Patrick Beverly. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Coffee passes to Covington. He kicks to Powell. The tray. And again, no good by the Clippers.
Not how they hoped to start this half. 1 for 5, brick after brick. Let's start building the building.
Count it, good.
Now Josh Okogie off the dribble drive. Great composure. Wow.
Beasley against Powell. Shot to stop the run. And the dunk by Powell.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
All right, and wasn't the timing ideal? My goodness, the D with no chance to react.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
One shot. One shot.
And Powell, no good on that one.
But you think about a guy like Norman Powell, who is really in the second round drafted because of elite athleticism and his defensive ability. But boy, has he turned himself into a scorer.
And Coffey gets it to go. Coffey's got the game tied up here for Los Angeles.
Wow, pretty pass from Powell. This guy has great instincts as a scorer. That time sets up his teammate.
Beasley out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. .109 left in the third quarter of the game. Outside, Russell. Clock at 6. Wants to get it to Beasley, and does. Beasley against Powell. Pass to Coffey. There's a screen. There's the drive. Rebound by Okogie. Timberwolves have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. 34 seconds left to play in the third. Pass to Reed. Releases from 15, and that one hits back iron.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
Now here's Powell. 12 seconds left to play here in the third. 5 to shoot. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of the game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
You know a thing or two about a point guard's job. Set the table for your teammates. Done there perfectly.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. We've got D'Angelo Russell. He's out there with Patrick Beverley. Karl Anthony Towns is out there with Edwards. And it's Vanderbilt in at the 4. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Now, here's George to take the lead. It's rebounded by Towns. Minnesota shooting a low 30% mark from the field. Edwards finds Russell. They set the pick. The kick out to Towns. Beverly against Jackson. And it's Beverly missing.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
George looking over the floor. Driving inside. Misses from short range. And so Edwards will bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Russell passes to Towns. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Russell against Jackson. 6 to shoot. Towns a screen on Jackson. Russell. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And Doris, the last few years for Russell has seen a lot of turnover and change for that young man.
And you know what? That can really slow down a player on the court more than you think. Last handful of years, Russell has changed teams and coaches several times, and yet he has still continued to be a factor on the floor.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
Well, D'Angelo Russell is a dynamic scorer in the NBA. He's got a unique skill set at the position. The key is he's got to continue to grow as a decision maker.
Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Los Angeles. And so Russell hits them both. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. And George, here we go. And he banks in the layup.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Boy, when it's this close, you try not to give up these kinds of buckets. Boy, you got to do better defensively.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
How about the calm demeanor of Towns? Well made for pressure situations.
On the wing, George puts the move on, and that's 2 points on the layup.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Russell kicks to Towns. Misses the 3.
Well, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
It's George on the wing. Back to Jackson. Just 5 to shoot. Zubac with the screen for Jackson. And he overshot that one, missing. Minnesota in the lead. Now Edwards. Can't connect from short range. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Outside, George. Over Beverly. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Push the action a little bit. Paul George right now challenging defenders to stop him.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
And you also have to give credit to them for their shot blocking. They've had a ton of rejections in this ballgame.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
Paul George, one of those players the media appreciates because he doesn't give you pat answers. When you ask him a question, he is thoughtful and is honest.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Beasley's checked in. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
Well, this is the kind of player he is. The tougher the moment, the more he elevates his game.
And the Timberwolves call time. They're trailing by 1. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Powell, he's checked in for George. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Chris Finch told the team. He said, we're too concerned with their shooters right now. We've got to close off the inside. They are gutting us. He pleaded with his guys. Come on, let's take a stand. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks. .157 left to play here in the fourth. Batum with the ball. Picked up by Edwards. Zubac the pass to Batum. Here's Powell. And the rejection by Towns.
Karl Anthony Towns twice on the pipe. Send it back, big fella.
And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
And you also have to give credit to them for their shot blocking. They've had a ton of rejections in this ballgame.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
And this is a player who understands when the game is hanging in the balance. He knows it's winning time.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. With the step back. Here's Powell. And there's the drive. And the rejection by Towns. They retain possession. Shot clock at 6. The drive by Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
And with a quick first step, Jackson remains a threat to drive on any defender.
Here's Russell, and the rejection by Zubac. Here's Powell. No good on that one. Excellent D there from Beasley. 46 seconds left in the fourth. Pass to Edwards. From deep. That shot, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Jackson kicks to Zubac. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And here is Powell. Looking to get it going. Excellent D there from Beasley. And it's Towns with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They trail by 3. That's tipped. It's Beasley on the wing. And he gets it back. And it's Russell in the corner. Fires from deep. So it's Los Angeles taking the W in a close one. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And a chance